Hello, everyone, and thanks for watching the preview show delivered by FedEx. I'm your host, Jonathan Merryman, filling in for Marty Snyder here with Chris Rice from Auto Club Racing. You weren't here last week. Marty filled in for you. I'm here for Marty this week, so it's just
you got me all confused, but I'm glad to be back.
One thing we do know is Ryan Newman ended up in victory lane for the first time in 127 races. You were over there with Auto Club Racing on the RCR campus. What's that mood been like over there for that Cup team?
Well, it's awesome. I really wanted to see RCR win for Richard Childress. Let's think about it. It was 2013 since Ryan Newman has won, and it's just awesome to see how excited everyone is there.
Now, talk about his crew chief, Luke Lambert, playing that pit strategy. I heard them earlier in the week talking about playing the numbers, figuring out the differentials between taking tires, not taking tires. There's a lot that went into that. He had to make a tough call at the end, and it paid off for him.
He did have to make a tough call, but I'm going to give a little bit of credit to Danny Eflin, okay? He's his engineer. He's new this year with Luke Lambert, and Danny Eflin is an old racer, and he understands racing. So I believe those two guys made a best educated decision that worked out for him, and I'm telling you, I'm still excited for that race. Not only Ryan Newman, that race was awesome, I felt.
Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, you just can't pull these two apart. They didn't fight, but you can't pull them apart in the headlines because the 22 blows a tire late in the race that sets up that pit stop where Ryan Newman decided not to come in. Kyle Busch arguably had the best car there at the end of that race. So how tough is that for Kyle to move on from this?
Not tough at all, I feel. Just because he had a great car, okay? He ran well all day, and that was something that they needed to do. They needed to go out and prove that, okay, we're figuring out this new Toyota Camry, how to make it run, what kind of balance it needs. So I feel that once he backs up and says, okay, yes, I didn't win, I had the best car, he understands that they learned a lot at that race, he will be okay with it. Yes, we all want to win, we all want to bring home the hardware, but I do feel that he will be okay with it.
Let's talk about Kyle number 2. Kyle Larson seems to have a knack for finishing second place. Atlanta, Las Vegas, and now Phoenix. He's come up runner-up. It's not necessarily a bad thing because he's leading the point standings, but when is he going to break through this year and finish in first place instead of second?
Well, I've said this a lot, you know, through media and everything else. When he learns how to close, everyone, it's going to be huge. He's going to win a lot of races. He's fast. Ganassi has fixed their race cars because Jamie McMurray has also ran fast this year. And I'm telling you, once Kyle Larson figures out how to close, it's going to be crazy how many races he goes on and wins.
He's from California. We head to California to Auto Club Speedway this weekend. 20 years at that speedway. So what are we going to see here in terms of tire strategy? Who's going to be up front? What does Auto Club have in store for us?
You're going to see a lot of passing. With all the new low downforce, low drag, you're going to see a lot of passing because the drivers are going to have to lift a lot. You know, where we used to run that 2-mile racetrack that run through the corner with a lot of gas pedal down, with a lot of throttle down. Not now with the new downforce. Not much strategy is going to go into when you pit for the stages because you need tires all the time. You cannot take 2 tires there and expect to win a race. So you're not going to see much of that, but you're going to see a lot of passing, and that's what we like as racers, is a lot of passing.
You know, Chris, we're 4 races in. What do you make of these stages? There's a lot of points to be gained here for the overall championship at the end of the year.
I absolutely love them because I do believe all the race car drivers are racing very hard throughout the whole race now. I don't think they're riding around just trying to get to the end of the race. I believe that all the stages matter, and every driver and every crew chief, they know that, so they race hard throughout the whole race. It's no riding around or sitting on your recliner now. It's time to go.
All right, now it's time to put our money where our mouth is. We're going to pick winners for the Auto Club 400 this weekend in California. So, Chris, who you taking?
Well, if you watched the preview show about 3 weeks ago, I said that this young gentleman would win at California. I'm picking Chase Elliott. I feel that it's time for him to win. Yes, he raced very well at Phoenix. He just didn't close. They got a little slow there towards the end of the race, but I'm telling you, California's going to be where he brings home the hardware. You better take Chase Elliott.
I'm taking Kyle Larson. Going to play the hot hand. We talked about him finishing second the past 3 races. I think he's going to follow that up with a win at California. I think he can do it. He likes a hot, slick racetrack. We'll have to wait and see. And you can see if our picks come to fruition this weekend at the Auto Club 400. That's going to be Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and that one is on Fox. Chris, thanks for joining us on the preview show delivered by FedEx. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you here right here next week when we talk about Martinsville.